So, good morning, my siblings in Christ.
Good morning.
Good morning.
That's what I'm talking about. We are very excited to be able to share with you a ministry that has been truly flourishing in our parish. My name is Cormac, Culkeen, and I am the Director of Youth Ministry at St. John's, West Toronto.
And my name is Samantha, Caravan, and I'm the incumbent there. I'm really just her helper.
It's not even true. So, together with the help of a team of volunteers and collaboration with our neighbor church, St. Martin in the Fields,
Wherever you are.
Where are you? Out for coffee? We decided to start something new. We wanted to participate in the work of Christ's transforming love in our neighborhood. And it turns out that we signed up for a wild ride. We live in a neighborhood with a lot of schools. We had a hunch that the youth in our community had a need for connection and a safe space where they would be fully welcomed for who they are. So we started an after-school drop-in program for youth. And now, the Space Youth Drop-In regularly welcomes between 100 and 150 kids every single Wednesday after school to our sanctuary.
The Space Youth Drop-In is part of a larger ministry to children, families, youth, and young adults at St. John's. It includes Messy Church, which happens twice a month, participation in Sunday worship, and Young Sounds, which is a phenomenal opportunity for us to hear the voices and witness the talents of children, families, youth, and young adults. This comprehensive ministry plan also includes Discovery Camp, which we ran for 5 weeks this past summer, a summer day camp program that offers day camp experiences to kids 4 to 12 years old. All of this ministry is interconnected and has grown organically out of a desire of this parish to reach into the community we live in and to share the love of God with our neighbors. We are transforming the neighborhood around us, and we are being transformed in the process. You know, God is in the mix and the Spirit is afoot when the parent of a young camper at our day camp stands in front of you at the end of the day, every day, teary-eyed to thank you and to tell you that without her son coming to this free day camp, she could not work in the summer. And she does because she could not work and afford daycare. So her energetic, lovely son this year will have a new backpack for school and a nice Christmas. Or when we're asked by high school students at the Space Drop-In, why are you doing this? This one young woman asked that, and my answer to her was, because you're our neighbor and we love you. You love me? Yes, was my response. You don't even know me, she said. And I said, and I love you anyway. Then she proceeded to tell me all about her family and all kinds of things and seeks me out whenever I'm there. God's love is active and alive.
So, that is the ground from which we decided to start an after-school ministry for youth. And once we decided to get started, I need to tell you the truth, it took months. It took months and months for us to gain the trust of the kids in the neighborhood. We threw open the doors with snacks and volunteers and Connect 4 and crickets, nothing. Nobody came inside. So after a couple of empty weeks inside the church, we decided to take it to the streets. We set up snacks and volunteers on the steps of the church and on the sidewalk. And from that very first day, every week kids ask us, as Samantha said, why are you doing this? And we answer, well, because Jesus tells us to love our neighbors, and you are our neighbors. We spent months getting to know the kids. And as the months wore on, the weather got cold, and we decided to open the church doors, move it inside, and see what would happen. And on that week, the kids poured into our sanctuary, swarmed with friendly hellos and all their wild energy. Over time, we've seen that there seems to be 3 groups of kids at drop-in. There are the kids who come in for a snack and then go on about their afternoon out there in the world. There's the kids who have come to trust and love the space itself and use it to spend time with each other, playing board games and doing homework over a bowl of chili. and a cookie. And finally, and these are all connected, there's kids who have demonstrated a clear desire to connect with us, the staff and volunteers. Those kids have become a part of our youth group. They have joined our summer discovery camp staff, and they've become a part of the life of our parish.
When we first started to talk about youth ministry at St. John's, we wanted to talk about it in the context of relationship. We were very clear that we were not going to run the traditional basketball-playing youth group that met every Friday evening. First, the kids in our neighborhood are already heavily programmed, and finding some time when they might get together was impossible. The real challenge was convincing people within the parish that youth ministry does not bring in money to the parish. It costs you money. So who's going to pay for this was always the question I had. Why are we feeding these little monsters? We are going to pay for that, I said. We're committed from the beginning also to honest and open relationships with these young people. No bait and switch. No pizza with strings, no hot dogs with sermons. It takes time, but it's paid off. The number of young people who have never before St. John's stepped into a church and who now call St. John's West Toronto home is remarkable. Youth ministry is not about saving your church. Having children and young people in the building will not save your doors from closing or all of a sudden solve your volunteer problems, because these young people are not free labor. What it will do is offer you a bigger vision than you could have ever imagined of God in the world. It will invite you into ministry in places you never thought you would go. And it will invite you to hone your own faith story, the story of how God is working in your life and the life of your parish, so that the love of God can be shared with these remarkable cookie, popcorn-eating young people.
So, if anyone is out there, there's got to be somebody out there wondering if between all the board games and the popcorn, we have time to talk about Jesus with the kids. The answer I'm going to give you is yes. Yes. We talk about Jesus all the time. Little discussions, big questions, gospel discussions, good news discussions, all the time. Kids ask us. They ask us about Jesus all the time because they are curious about what would motivate us to welcome them and to value them without expectation. It would be impossible to not be an evangelist in the context of this ministry because the kids are curious about the fruit of our life as a parish. Opening our doors and opening our hearts has made a neighborhood of kids who have come to believe that the church is a space where they belong. We see kids who don't fit in at school being welcomed and cherished at our church, as they should be. We know that they are loved and cherished by our God. That's some good news action, my friends. But seeing is believing. So the good folks at Archipelago Productions have put together a short film that'll let all of you be a fly on the wall at drop-in. You'll see me and Samantha and our volunteers hard at work. And you'll see me making plans to mentor and connect with kids after school. And hopefully you'll see what we mean about the wild teen energy. Enjoy.
Thank you. And thank you to the whoever at Synod invited us to this missional opportunity to share with you. We're grateful. It's a lot of work, but the results have been quite extraordinary. So we invite you to hold us in prayer as we continue this ministry of welcome, of inclusion, and transformative love, not only for these young people, but for us. And join in our gratitude that God is doing more than we can ask or ever imagine. Thank you.